Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video, and the type of content I don't do too often, which is taking units into the actual Cellmax event to try them out. Now, to quickly say why I don't really do this, I've said this before on stream, link in description down below. We play Dokkan and some other games, check that out if you want to. Also, don't forget to drop a like on the video if you are enjoying the content, and don't forget to subscribe if you are new. All the support is very much appreciated, but the reason why I don't do Cellmax event content too often is because only the top 1%, only the upper echelons, like the very best units in Dokkan, can actually really compete in here. And for the majority, that unit may be in that 1%. However, many units that surround them on their category are like, they just have no chance against Cellmax, which I don't mind too much. But I'm not going to take every single new unit, every single new EZA into Cellmax, just because I know that quite a few of them are heavily dependent on RNG. Like, for example, Gogeta Blue would be amazing in here, right? Don't get me wrong, the built-in crit, he would always be doing amazing amounts of damage. His defense will get to solid lengths. Maybe not enough to handle basics from Cellmax, but he would do very good damage. You know, he also can dodge in here, which is very good. However, if he doesn't dodge, pretty much 1-2 basics, Gogeta Blue is dead. 1 super attack, he is dead. So if you have to depend on so much going your way for a unit to actually shine in here, then I don't really like bringing them. And then if I know that I have to do some absolute cheese, then I also don't really like bringing them too much either. However, if I know they can actually perform in here, and, you know, I may get unlucky and, you know, die because of certain, you know, attack placements, or the super attack comes before I super, something like that, but I know a unit can really perform in here, then I'll make content on it. And the EZA LRSSJ2 Gohan is one of them. He is that guy. Not only does he have Birdkill in his rotation, who he was one of the reasons why I actually started making Cellmax content in the first place, and was one of the reasons why I beat one of the OG missions, because of course he stacks defense, has guard, has the revival, extra heal in Cellmax where you're limited to Senzu beans, very helpful, then has the guaranteed guard, then you have the likes of the gods that are here as well, and while, you know, 2 super attacks won't be able to save them from a Cell super attack, however, they can disable one of Cell's attacks, they can then dodge, and then if you have dupes or hit a triple super, I think with a basic, I think you may be able to survive, depending on how much HP you have left. And then you have God Goku, tanks double digits on basics. On a super attack, may take 200 to 300k pre-super, but still, that's a lot better than the majority of any other unit in this game when tanking a Cellmax super attack. Then who else do we have on the team? Pycon was the only one I kind of bought for cheese, just for his Ghost Rush ability, which, by the way, I didn't even actually manage to trigger, so what does it matter? And then who was the last unit I brought? Oh, Gamma 1. Gamma 1 is very good here. He's very good here. When he's fully built up, he can tank supers pretty well, especially post-super. So we kind of have all the cards on the table for us. So, of course, the first 2 phases are an absolute cakewalk. You know, for the most part, you actually don't want to do too much damage, so some units like the gods can build up. Gohan is also one of them. You need to build up his passive very quickly, so you may want to kind of hold back on hitting, like, you know, almost 24 key supers with Gohan, 24 keys with the gods. Yes, it helps them build up, but don't forget, Gohan needs to appear 4 times to get his passive fully built up, which is what we want before he transforms. Now, Pycon was also useful in the team as well, so we could lose some HP. Yes, you could probably transform Gohan during the final phase, but considering how much damage you can actually take, doing it there is a little bit risky, but still possible. Of course, with the likes of God Goku and Gamma 1 being there, if we were to take some damage or be supered, we can easily trigger Gohan's, you know, transformation because of Gamma 1. Not only that as well, God Goku and Gamma 1 are good enough to be able to tank where we're taking a good amount of damage, because of course Cellmax just does so much damage, but enough to get us down to that 58% HP threshold so we can get him transformed. So there is that as well, but I would prefer him, or prefer us, you know, to lose a bit of health before we're in that phase. And then Gohan would have been stacking the entire time. The only thing is, you're not in the Cellmax event long enough for Gohan stacking up to mean anything. Like, yes, you can stack him up. Yes, you can hit an additionals. That's good. However, considering how short the Cellmax event is and how quickly you can get through the first 2 phases because they're so easy, getting Gohan's defense stacked up really isn't a thing here. But what is a good thing is, before you even consider dupes, he has a 50% chance to crit androids. And what is Cellmax? An android. And what did we just get Gohan? We just got him 17 key spheres, which means we have a 50% chance to dodge built into his passive, along with the fact he's going to be doing a 27.5 million attack stat. And then we also have dupes for the potential additionals in his passive, the dupe system additionals and the dupe system crits. We hit for almost the 16 mil crit, followed up by a 22 million additional, which I think also crits, or maybe not. I can't remember. Does he crit on the additional? 12.5 million on the crit. He does follow up with another additional, which he also crits on. And then we get supered. Now, he does die, because again, as I said, prior to him transforming, we don't have time to build him up. Also, he has type disadvantage here. And no amount of guard and stacking is going to save him against a Cellmax super. Just does far too much damage. But because of that perfect rotation you can run, which is him with LR Birdcoo, what do? We trigger the revive. Now, Gohan only has one appearance against Cellmax, but considering how much damage he can do on that one turn, I think it's worth him having a video on, and I think it's worth showing what he did even in that one turn. Like, that, getting Cell down to pretty much half health, if not a little bit less, was all down to Gohan's one super, like one appearance, where he supered 118 key and then done one additional. If we managed to get that second additional, that third attack, become a super attack, considering how likely it would have been for him to crit, Cellmax would have been almost dead. Like, Cellmax probably would have been dead this turn, and we would have completed the event. But I think that's enough to show off Gohan. Now, you know, as I said, he doesn't have time to stack, so defensively, he's not going to have that here. He's not going to have the 500-600k defense. You know, even with guard, if you just left him untransformed, it's not going to be enough, unfortunately. It's not going to be enough. But considering Gohan is one of the heaviest hitting units currently on global, that is his main thing. That is why he can be good in here, is even with being, you know, even while having type disadvantage, as I said, because Cellmax is an android category enemy, before you take into consideration dupes, he has a 50% chance to crit, and if you're getting him enough orbs, you're doing 20 million plus attack stats with a 50% chance to crit before you consider him launching an additional super attack in his passive, before you consider you may have dupes, which is another additional and also even more chance to crit. He's doing 20 plus mil attack stats with a 50% chance to crit and doing almost 16 million crit damage to Cellmax's HP bar, followed up by additional supers with even more crits. He just does so much damage that he is viable in this content. Now, if RNG went a little bit more my way here and Pycon actually dodged, or, you know, there was one attack in slot 1 and then I used Birdcoo's active, which I do, then we could avoid being hit and we would have beat the event. But considering how much health Cellmax has left, which is about a quarter of that bar, I think it's worth showing, because Gohan absolutely annihilated Cellmax, which makes him viable here. Just defensively, he's not quite it. That's where the defensive units surrounding him carry him defensively here. But he was still amazing here. Easily the best EZA in the game. I think this just further proves it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys, and peace.